Hi, good afternoon. I would like to actually take you to a little bit more from the perspective of older people. After discussing about macro level, I would like to bring you into more micro level. If you could stay with me. Senior center, aged care facilities, adult daycare center, nursing homes. Are you excited about your older age? If I hear this smile and laugh. If you think it is a little bit funny, I think we have a little bit of problem as a society, because I work with an architect and because I design housing for older people, and I hear all the time that I don't live into this place. I designed this place, but I don't live there. I think a mindset of we and them, or I and them, has to change, and that is a talk that I would like to actually focus on, so that you can actually see this problem as a part of your problem, because aging is really not a disease. It is a part of life course. So that happened to me, happened to everybody. So we should really stop thinking about what we have to do to make other people's home. So what should design community respond? Do we have to respond maximizing the number of elders in a limited space to have inclusive cities? Do we want to build better institutions than we have? Do we want to create a place where we feel familiar with, especially this is a big topic for people with dementia? Or simply, do we want to create a place where we would like to live? I would like to take you to what the development of a nursing home actually was like. It is actually modeled after acute care model. So this is not working. Okay. So when you look at it, in acute care model, just your objective is to cure, and you want like them to go back to their society and being a productive life. And the main objective is to save life. But when you think about how elderly care has to be done, the objective has to be really to provide them dignity of life until the end of their life. And they cannot, a lot of disease you cannot cure. What we have to really focus on is that we have to learn to live with disabilities. And we should not over-medicalize the service for the older people. Sometimes we have a confusion when we're talking about housing for older people. They think it's nursing home. There should be much more option than that. And older people's housing shouldn't be always connected to medical institution. Because when you look at this, acute care is really objectively valued. It is almost like doctors will say that it is successful. You will see statistics, this hospital is successful, our society is successful to cure this disease. But what older people want cannot be, a lot of time you cannot measure it, because what they want is a quality of life. That is much more subjective values. So transition of the elder care, I would like to go through. It started with institutional care. I was born and raised in Japan and moved to the United States and studied about elder care for the last 20 years. So what I started studying about the elder care, it was about the institutional care. It is a medical model, and it's just what you get as a resident is a unified care, it's a collective care. And the design field, how they reacted was to create efficient, convenient, hygienic, and totally safe place. We had a great intention to care for older people. That's how we design. Seems like it's not working. Okay. Last 20 years, we are realizing that, we don't want to live in the hospital-like place. I would like to live in the home. So there is a movement called person-centered care. We try to provide social medical care because as much as we try to provide a social model, we still need some kind of medical care. So it is much more individualized, and design field actually responded to to create a much more like a comfortable setting, just to provide more orientation and safe and comfort. So what I would like you to think about it, I just called it the Ibasho concept. Why I chose Ibasho, I did not want to have any negative term attached to any of the concept at this moment. I would like to leave it up to you. But I think what we have to really moving toward, I think that's what we want, is that integration model. We really want to be a part of the community. How design field has to respond is much more than comfort and the privacy. That is a very basic, but really have to start thinking about how can we integrate elders' wisdom, and how can we really encourage ownership among the community. And really simply, we don't want to be marginalized. And multi-generational and culturally appropriate, and just simple thing like a normal place to living in. So where are we going to, where our society going? I should have probably said where should our society going with this list. We would like to go from segregation to integration. Care to lifestyle. We think that we as a nice people will care for you older people. Nobody wants that. So we really have to respect, rather than the care, it is a lifestyle. And again, providing care, we should think about how can we empower them, and how can they have a sense of belongings. And it is okay to be interdependent. Independence being respected so much that that's what people want, but it cannot really keep. You cannot keep until you die. So we have to accept interdependency, sense of ownership, elders as a social asset. We should really learn to provide elder care with a positive attitude, and simply multi-generational community. So how can we actually design this, for this direction? This is what I think. I think we have to embrace imperfection. Here is why. Long-term care for older people, it's very convenient, it's very efficient, systematic, and hygienic. I will tell you, a home. It is very inconvenient, nothing is efficient, and it's troublesome, and not always clean. I've been hearing throughout this conference, older people want to stay at home, although we know a home is not perfect. I think healthcare, we strive too much on perfection, so as designers. We over-design too much, we assume too much. I think we have to really step back and just think about normalcy one more time. So I'll show you quickly the good practice in Asia. I have very limited time, so I will give you slides later if you would like to see more pictures. One of the places in Kyoto, this is a living room. I am just going to show you the image. This is a living room. Try to create the sense of home. I think it's kind of hard to say, how they adapted the dementia. This is a severe dementia, 75 people living in this house within like a 6 household. They usually sign up with like a red door, yellow door, and number 1 and 2. How they did it was just change the design for the entrance, which is very culturally appropriate. So it is very normal, but they cannot still identify it. So what they did, they don't hire interior architects. It's the same floor plans. Patients and the residents and the staff members, they work together. So what they do is to give about $5,000 a year so the staff member can actually change the room, because that's what we do. And this is one of the universal design features I would like to cover. You see this black line. It is actually recessed, so you can grab anywhere. But it is a part of the design, so you can open grabbing any part of the black line, but it doesn't look like it is accessible doorknob. A lot of places in Japan is integrating cafe for community people to come. And this is a kitchen, it's one of my favorites. Actually, I walked in here and I said, well, this is just like my home. It is comfortably messy. It's just because kitchen has everything. And this, to me, shows sense of Ibasho to me. This old woman, this is where she belonged to, and nobody bothers her. because that's her place. So this is another organization about designing for non-stigmatized design. This is like a regular normalcy that you can see actually, entrances. And this is a nurse station, that's how you can normalize it. And this is a preschool because it's right next to the nursing home, they have a preschool. And they have a regular house that older people live first floor and younger people live upstairs. And they try to reserve the trees. And the last project I wanted to show you is about after the tsunami in Japan, we have a lot of older people living in the temporary housing units. And it was supposed to be 2 years, but we are projecting about 5 to 10 years. So a lot of older people are still just withdrawn in their house. And this is, I just shot this 1 year ago, 1 year later, the tsunami, it is a lot of things are still damaged and nothing is built. So this is a temporary housing. So what we're trying to do, just try to exercise what we believe in as a Ibasho, really try to empower older people and just look into what they can contribute. So this is going to be designed, built together, and operate by over 75 years old elders, because in Japan, 65 are the young people. So this is a workshop what we're doing. So what we do is just to facilitate, and what architects are doing, sitting in the back and taking notes, because this is their project. It's not the designer's project. And this is a part of the environmental sustainability issues. We are saving this old farmhouse because otherwise this is going to be burned down and it's going to be a trash. So we wanted to create that as a part of a sense of the pride, because all these elders who are going to come is going to be, they are the ones that who lost the houses. So this is what is inclusive city. It's not about elders and city. There are so many layers. We have to provide the people to feel the sense of community in very different layers. Otherwise, it is going to be very hard for people to feel belong to. And this is a message for designers. So as stakeholders, I've seen many, many, many times people want innovative design, innovative buildings or innovative cities, but we have to make sure to write a play before we design the stage. Otherwise, you cannot appropriately design. And I would like to end with these slides that Mother Teresa found these issues in Japan, actually, when she visited. Being unwanted, unloved, uncared for, forgotten by everybody, I think that is a much greater hunger, a much greater poverty than the person who has nothing to eat. I work in a nursing home every single day. When I'm in the States, I see this poverty in the eyes of elders in one of the wealthiest countries. And I wanted to share this story with the colleagues in Singapore, because you're one of the wealthy country. Then I would not like to see the elders, poverty in their elders' eyes. Thank you very much.